Hey everyone, well, I think today's the day. We're gonna start harvesting some soybeans, trying out the new combine for the first time. Have a lot to do before we get into the field actually. We need to figure out how to drive this thing. It's pretty similar to the old combine, but there is a handful of stuff and electronics that are gonna be different. The first day of harvest, usually you don't get much accomplished trying to get everything set up just right how you want it. And this being a new combine to us, I have a feeling it's gonna be even longer. So harvest wise, I don't see us getting too much done in the field. Hopefully by tomorrow, everything's kind of set up, figured out, and we can just work and cut soybeans. But as far as today goes, I feel like just getting this thing set up, dialed in, and figuring out how to drive it, and then everything else set up. We still need to check over the semi truck yet. We'll eventually set up the auger probably today. If not today, tomorrow, because we do have a couple loads that go uptown. Gonna check over a few things, get it greased. A lot of little stuff we need to do before we just drive over to the field and start combining. But for how cold it gets and how dewy it is out, I don't see us really being able to cut anything until after lunch anyways. Not going to get in too big of a hurry today. We only have the one field up at the home farm that we're going to be doing. It's about 150 acres. The rest of the farm fields that we have are probably 5 days out or more. So this is the only farm that's really ready. So not in a big rush. We never ended up putting the tools from the old combine into the new combine toolbox. Don't have a lot of stuff, just emergency tools kind of if you're by yourself and the tool truck's not around. Just got a handful of wrenches and some screwdrivers, nothing special. All right, so I got this pretty much full. I like to keep a box of sickle sections in the toolbox, and I got fingers for the auger and some guards. So, holds more spare parts than it does tools, I think. But it seems like every harvest I have to retrain myself of where all the grease zerks are, but luckily I'm able to read picture books. So they throw a couple of these on each side of the combine and kind of give you a guide of where they are. Everything is very similar to the old 9660. A lot of it is actually, and some of even the body panels I noticed, or not the body panels, but the shields are the same. This really is just a newer version of the 9660 we had, but everything is updated and everything is just a little bit bigger, I've noticed, for the most part. But then there's other stuff that is exactly the same still. I got all greased and tires are checked. I'm gonna back this out, gonna fuel it up, and then I'm probably gonna hook on the grain head in the driveway here, kind of get everything, a test drive in the driveway, and make sure everybody's talking. I have a feeling I'm gonna be doing some reading and maybe even watching a couple of YouTube videos on how to drive this thing. I'm not sure how big the tank is on the new machine, but it's pretty much empty, so I think it's gonna be a minute. So we'll start getting the grain head out. Sometimes a quick video is easier than trying to scroll through the book and find out what you want to do. So
going down the road, you don't poke a button and have some issues.
This is going to be your real speed here. Next one down is our interactive combine adjust. This is where we will come to walk through to try to help out either grain damage, grain cleanliness, grain loss, or straw condition. I've been in here for some time now, more than I'd like, but you know, it is what it is. I got most of everything, I believe, calibrated. However, I can't get my header pressure when I set it on the ground to go up or down. It just sits there at 650. So I'm missing something. I'm not sure what it is. Dad's making a phone call right now. But other than that, I think I got most of everything calibrated now and talking. I'm thinking by the time we get this thing all ready to go, it'll be time to actually get in the field and cut beans the way it's going. It's pretty hot out right now. I think we're gonna wait for somebody to show up and double check our work at this point. I cannot get the real height and speed sensor, I think that I'm saying that right, not to talk to the machine. And then I can't adjust my pressures, like I said. So turn the machine off. I'm gonna just let them figure it out. I don't want to spend too much time going nowhere with it. Sometimes it's easier just to call somebody that knows what they're doing. Always like to keep glass cleaner and a roll of paper towels in the combine. So put that in there real quick. While we're waiting, I'll probably dig the Kenworth out, check that over quick, oil, and maybe clean the windows. So we kind of got it figured out, but don't really have it fixed too good. Mostly just an electrical issue, what was going on with it. You got your main wiring harness right down there. That's wanting to unplug. So it gets a little bit loose, then it stops talking to the header properly. And that's kind of what's going on with the real issue. Even then, it's not that big of a deal. And as far as we thought it might have been a leaky hose, but he's thinking that's the one cylinder on the end that's going bad. Right there by Dad, that's that cylinder there. But as long as that wire doesn't come undone, we can harvest today, even though it wants to come loose. And we are going to replace it so it doesn't do that anymore. We can still go try to cut today. Well, left the driveway, not in the field yet, but trying to get there. I'm just going around the corner from the house, so I'll be there in a minute. Well, I'm moving. Dad just jumped out behind me. He's gonna check and see what it looks like on the ground to make sure I'm not throwing a bunch of beans out. Just trying to get this thing dialed in and find that sweet spot to where I'm not getting too much garbage in the tank, but not throwing any beans out either. So trying to find that middle ground there and get it tuned where we want it. This is very, very different than the last combine. It's a lot quieter in here and a lot more computer screens to kind of pay attention to. And I'm yet to set up my AB line for my auto steer. I'll probably do that once I get turned around or do the headland or something. Right now I'm driving next to the neighbor's corn, so I'm trying not to run that over. Dad called me just now. He says that it looks really good on the ground. It looks very clean and we're not throwing anything out the back. And then the sample looks a little dirty. I might try to change a couple things yet. I gotta watch and be mindful of the grain tank on this thing. It's 6 out and it's a lot taller than the old machine. So I got to be careful about tree branches not to hit anything. The grain head's not too bad because it sticks out quite past the machine quite a bit, but I could see the corn head getting into trouble. The corn head's only 8 row, so still pretty narrow, and yeah, you get pretty close to the trees, so just got to be mindful of it. Just trying to get this field opened up. I've turned right back around on this north headland, and then I'll go to the other end and open up the other headland. I just set my A/B line, and right now I'm hands-free driving, so that's different. This is dump number 1. Right as Dad was pulling up with the semi, I just had a warning that the clean elevator was going too slow and told me to shut everything kind of down, so I don't know what's going on behind me here, but I'll get dumped real quick and then I'll see what's going on. Found a loose belt on the other side of the combine, so let's see if we can get that tightened up. Let's try this again. On the north side by the woods, the beans aren't doing that great. This is all sand over on the north end, where in the middle it seems to be running really good. According to the iPad, it's pushing 60 bushel. Where over in the hill here, it's down to like 40 something, 30 something even.
Got it for 29.
Not too bad. I think I had some green ones on the first go around, or along the edge, is why the first batch looks so dirty. But looking in the tank, it doesn't look that bad. There's a couple pods. Says my grain tank's 80% full, so I'm hoping I can get to the other end and get turned around so I can dump. I got to dump on this side of me. Dad's coming up behind me now. It just yelled at me that the grain tank is full, but it says 93%, so bushel. I mean, it turns to garbage up on the hill. You're looking at like 30 some bushel, and then in the middle there, I'm pushing 60, 62. I'm empty.
I just wait here and then so you get another pass on. I'll just keep ratcheting my way to the road.
Right now I'm doing about 4.1 miles an hour. Feeding really nice. You know, this 30-foot head seems pretty small on this combine even. Yeah, so far, just getting used to it, but overall, pretty happy with it so far. I want to do something with that cord yet. Get a longer one maybe, and try to make it look a little bit cleaner so it's just not hanging there.
I don't know if that'll be truckload or not. I might need one more lap.
That should top off the truck now, so Dad's gonna jump in the semi and leave the grain cart here, and I'll just start dumping on the grain cart by myself. We do not have the 4010 and the big 13-inch auger set up to the grain bin. We never got around to setting it up, but we also have a couple thousand that need to go to town anyways, so he's gonna go up to town and go dump. It's not too far away, it's only like 5 miles or so. And the biggest thing would be a lineup. I don't know if a lot of people are going today. Overall, I think everything else is still kind of 4 or 5 days out, depending on what the weather does. I got something dragging on the left end of the head here. That's not supposed to be here. I'm sure glad this didn't go in the tire. Really curious to what implement this came from, because as far as I know, we don't have anything that takes this. So chisel plow could have pulled it up. The cultivator could have pulled it up from, you know, the previous landowner, but we've been farming this quite some time now. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna be thankful it didn't go in the tire, so we'll keep moving. Dad just pulled up, so that'll be good. Keep moving. He got here quicker than I thought he would, so evidently there wasn't too big of a line. Hey Austin, what do you think? We combining? What do you think, mister? I'm not sure what is going on with the GPS right now, but it seems like the last 20 minutes or so, it keeps getting off track and I keep having to nudge it over. I don't know if that has something to do, maybe I lost signal going by the woods. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I keep having to press nudge to the left or right. Hey, is that you? Is that you? You say hi? You say, hey everybody. You're silly. Dad left with number 2, so he went back to town. The first time around, there was nobody in front of him, and there was one guy behind him. So, doesn't sound like a lot of people are going just yet. Well, Dad got his 2 load stumps uptown, so now we're going to start dumping in the green bin. The auger's not set up. Sun's starting to go down, so once that's down, the dew's going to start coming on, and then it's going to be harder for the combine to cut anything. So we're going to load up the machines, and we're going to call it a night. I'm not going to try to set up the auger and then run an extra 20 minutes or whatever it may be by the time we get that done. So we'll set it up tomorrow morning, dump everything, and then hopefully by lunchtime we can start cutting. I think that's going to do it for this video. So as usual, thanks for watching. I have a feeling this is going to be a longer video. I don't know what I got for footage, but I know it's a lot. So if you made it to the end, thank you for watching all the way through, and I'll see you in the next one.